You wake up and they're still there. Not in the room, not in your life anymore, maybe, but somewhere just behind your eyes, vivid and close in the way dreams make things feel, before the morning pulls them apart. You lie there for a moment trying to hold on to the details, the way they looked, what was said, whether it was painful or warm or somewhere in between. Then the day starts and you carry it with you anyway. That strange residue of a dream you didn't ask to have, about a person you weren't planning to think about. Maybe it's happened more than once. Maybe it's happened so many times that you've started to wonder if it means something, if there's a message in it. If your subconscious is trying to tell you something, your waking mind refuses to say out loud. Here's what's strange. It probably is. Most people assume that dreaming about someone simply means you miss them, or that they're still on your mind in some obvious surface-level way. And sometimes that's true. But when the same person keeps returning to your dreams, especially long after they've left your daily life, something more specific is happening. Not something mystical, something psychological. And once you understand what it actually is, you'll never interpret a recurring dream the same way again. Your brain does not stop working when you fall asleep. It shifts into a different kind of work. During the phase of sleep known as REM, which stands for rapid eye movement, your brain becomes almost as active as it is when you're fully awake. Your eyes move behind your closed lids. Your emotional brain lights up. Your logical prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational filtering and self-censorship, goes quiet. And your dreaming mind gets to do something it can never do during the day. Sort through unresolved emotional material without the noise of conscious thought getting in the way. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist at UC Berkeley and author of Why We Sleep, described REM sleep as a form of overnight therapy. His research showed something striking. REM sleep is the only stage of sleep in which the brain is completely free of noradrenaline, the molecule most closely linked to stress and anxiety. This means that during dreaming, your brain can revisit emotionally charged memories in a neurochemical environment that is, for once, calm enough to actually process them. The emotional charge attached to a memory gets worked on during the dream. The sharp edges, as Walker put it, get taken off. This is why you can wake from a dream about something painful and feel oddly, slightly lighter about it. The dream wasn't pointless. It was doing something. But this also explains something more uncomfortable. When a person keeps appearing in your dreams, it usually means the emotional charge attached to them hasn't finished being processed. Your brain keeps returning to that person the same way a tongue returns to a sore tooth. Not because you want it to, because the work isn't done yet. Rosalind Cartwright, a psychologist at Rush University Medical Center who spent decades studying exactly this, found something important in her research on people going through divorce. The individuals whose dreams featured their former partners most vividly, who actively dreamed about the conflict, the loss, and the emotion attached to the relationship, were actually the ones who recovered from the breakup most effectively over time. The people whose dreams avoided the topic entirely did worse. Cartwright's conclusion was that dreams were not a sign of being unable to move on. They were the mechanism by which moving on actually happened. She called dreaming a mood regulation system, the mind using sleep to integrate painful experiences into a broader sense of self so they no longer sit raw and unattached in your emotional memory. The recurring dream, in this framework, isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that your mind is still doing its job on something it hasn't fully resolved. So when you ask what it means to keep dreaming about the same person, the first and most important answer is this. There is something emotionally unfinished between you and that person that your conscious mind hasn't been able to close. That doesn't necessarily mean unfinished love, though it can. It might mean unfinished grief, unfinished anger, a conversation that never happened, a version of events you never fully accepted, an ending that arrived before you were ready for it, or one that never really arrived at all. Your dreaming mind doesn't distinguish between these in the way your waking mind might. It simply keeps returning to whatever still has a charge. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who spent much of his career studying dreams and the unconscious, believed that the people who appear in dreams are rarely just themselves. He suggested that dream figures often function as representations of psychological parts you haven't yet integrated, aspects of yourself that you project outward onto others, because looking at them directly is harder than looking at someone else. In this reading, the person in your dream isn't only that person. They're a carrier of something about you, a quality you admired and haven't claimed in yourself, or a wound that reminds you of your own. This doesn't mean every recurring dream is a deep symbolic message requiring years of analysis, but it does mean that the question worth asking isn't just, why am I dreaming about them? The more useful question is, what does this person represent that I haven't finished dealing with? What feeling always arrives in these dreams? Not what happens, but what it feels like. That feeling is almost always closer to the real subject than the person appearing in the dream. There's also a more specific pattern worth naming because it confuses a lot of people. You can dream repeatedly about someone you have no conscious desire to see again, someone you've genuinely moved past in your waking life, or someone you actively feel done with. And it can feel alarming, like a betrayal of your own progress. But processing and wanting are not the same thing. Your dreaming mind returning to someone to complete emotional work is not the same as your waking self choosing to reopen that door. The brain doesn't care about the distinction you've made between past and present. It cares about what still holds unresolved emotional weight, and it will return to it until the weight is gone. The more useful question to sit with after one of these dreams isn't, should I reach out to them? Or does this mean I'm not over them? The more useful question is, what specifically was I feeling in the dream? And where else in my life does that feeling show up? If the dream carries a theme of being left without explanation, ask where else that lives in you. If it carries a theme of saying something you were never allowed to say, ask what you're still holding back. The person in the dream is often an arrow pointing somewhere internal, not an instruction pointing outward. The dreams tend to change as the emotional work progresses. This is something Cartwright's research tracked carefully across time. As people moved through grief or loss, the content and emotional register of their dreams shifted. The dreams became less raw, less vivid, less insistent. The same person might still appear, but with less charge, less urgency, less of the quality of something unfinished pressing against the glass. This gradual softening is itself a sign of the process completing itself. Not a sign of forgetting, but of something being quietly filed into the larger archive of who you are and what you've lived through. The dream isn't haunting you, it's finishing something. So the next time you wake up with them, still there behind your eyes, before you decide what it means about them or about the two of you, consider what it might mean about the part of you that still has something to work through. Because that recurring dream, the one you didn't ask for and can't seem to stop having, might not be about missing them at all. It might just be your mind, doing its quiet work in the only hours it has where no one is watching.